Kindly sit down. Thank you for your courtesy. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, the National Security Advisor, Secretary Hermogenes Esperon, and the other members of the Cabinet, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, the honorable members of the House of Representatives, the AFE Chief of Staff, General Carlito Galvez, and the other major service commanders, Northern Luzon Commander Lieutenant General Emmanuel Salamat, the officers and enlisted men, personnel of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Filipino maritime researchers of the Philippine Rise, and the other distinguished guests. Alam mo, before I'm through with the 2 pages, layo kong binyahe tapos ito lang. Alam mo, ganito yan eh. During our time, the time-honored principle was really the 12 miles. And before that, it was the 3 mile, the longest where a cannon could reach any target in the open seas. But of recent memory, nagkaiba-iba ang jurisprudence sa dagat. I have nothing against China, but China claimed the entire ocean of the China Sea. So, not only did assert its jurisdiction over the distance of the 12-mile limit territorial waters and what would be known as the sovereign rights of a sovereign country territory, lumagpas na and they have claimed entire ownership, proprietary in nature. So tayo naman, nobody was really willing to create ROCOs there, here and there. Tayo, it was the Philippines that was eaten slowly. Alam mo, maraming ano dyan, geopolitics and a little bit longer than usual kasi ito. But I'd like you to know what is the geopolitics involved there. Ganun yan. There was this arbitrary ruling because of the conflicting claimants. You must remember that it's not only China, in reality, not China and Philippines, but actually it involves so many countries. Taiwan, Philippines, Vietnamese, and Malaysia for that matter. And in the southernmost would be the Indonesian group of islands. Yun ang status nun. When China claimed the entire ocean as theirs, wala akong magawa, wala tayong magawa. Yan ang gusto niya. But we learned a bitter lesson there. So, nag-file there's nothing to do with politics. Aquino filed for arbitration. He won. From the time the arbitration award was handed down to the time that he was nearing his end, there was sufficient time for him to act and do something. And he was correct, and he is correct, that the only power that can really stop China, because so many overflights, but the intelligence report says that something was afoot there. There was a reclamation being done. At wala naman tayong nagawa at hindi ko pa panahon. Yung panahon ko na bumelo ng husto. Before I went to China, so sabi ko, well, I'm ready to fight. But is it a battle that I can win? Tinatanong ko sarili ko. Because people and justices in the Supreme Court were egging me to do something more drastic. Let me relate to you what happened during my first visit. I was with my cabinet General Esperon, General Anyo, uh, General Lorenzana, lahat kami na sila, Mon Lopez, they were there. Secretary Tugadi, at napag-usapan we talked about the China Sea. And suddenly, I blurted that, Mr. President, we are claimants to that island. And we have this arbiter award. Though I am not insisting on its solution now, I'd like you to know that I am going to China Sea to claim part of our territory, and I will dig oil. I was that forward. Hindi lang yung sinasabi mo na pushing o talagang sinabi ko harap-harapan. In a bilateral, nandiyan kami lahat. And you know what? Si Xi Jinping, the ever cool guy, started by just, sabi niya, well, we just restored our relationships. I think it's a new era for us, a new day. And if I may beg you not to bring this up forcefully because there will be a time that we will be discussing it. And sabi ko, right, Mr. President, at least during my term, I will raise the issue again. Pero nagpipilit ako, sabi ko, whatever is in the bowels of the earth is ours over there, because that is our territory. Sabi niya, wag na muna natin siraan yung pagkakaibigan natin. Hindan sila. Sabi ko na, well, hindi nga dapat because I came here not really for that, but because I wanted to buy arms, because ang inventory namin, you can visually see the guns there. Pero yan, luma na yan. Loose bore, the bolts are already not good, not in good condition. I need new rifles where I expect trouble one of these days. And what I had in mind was really Marawi, because the intelligence reports were coming in very fast. And even my relatives there, sabi sa Lanao del Sur, mabilis na ang pasahan ng baril dito. So, looking at the stock, sabi ko, kailangan pumunta ng China. Sabi, if you can just give me a little extension of time, maybe you can grant or yung maunang loan, 20-25 years payment, tapos wala man akong pera, dahan-dahan lang. Tapos sabi ni Mr. Xi Jinping, no, I'll give it to you for free. But then again, yan ang mahirap eh. Pag sabihin mo, wag ka na mo ba, bigay ko na lang sa iyo. Hanggang dyan ka na lang. And the one thing, in real geopolitics, you do not buy your arms from one source only. Because if you do that, you become a colony of your supplier. Kung lahat na ng armas dyan, kanya lang, you are reduced to a vassal. So I went to Russia. Ganoon din ang sinabi ko kay Putin, I need to buy arms. Sabi niya, well, I understand your problem. Do not worry, I'll give it to you for free. And that was the time pumutok ang Marawi. So, ngayon, ang sitwasyon is nandiyan West Philippine Sea. We are not giving up our rights. As a matter of fact, we are still insisting until now to the point that they are now willing, yan ang sabi nga ni Xi Jinping, we would always find a solution to any problem. They are now offering for a joint exploration and development. Sabi niya, maybe you'll have a bigger share. Tingnan natin. Ang tao naman, basta ganon ang paano mo, you remain meek and humble, yung ego niya mag-start to, then it turns to something basic like, maawa rin. Sabi niya, sige, so we are now negotiating. Kaysa magkagera ako, sabi ko, maubos ang sundalo ko. Pag lunch pa lang ng ilang mo atin ito, ganito kalaki. Matamaan ito ng cruise missile, wala na. Patay ang sundalo ko. I will not do that. Ngayon, yung West Philippine Sea, kunin ko na lang kung anong makuha natin. Pero dito, was this report that everybody was here exploring, and because na magkaroon na tayo ng phobia, I came out right straight, sabi ko, Benham Rice is ours. As a matter of fact, I am renaming it the Philippine Rice because according to the continental shelf law limitations, malaking atin. Ngayon, I did not start that claim kasi noon historically, beyond the 12, ang tawag natin just is the high seas, international waters. We used to recognize that. At ang sabi natin na bago mo lang, of recent memory mo lang itong economic, it used to be the subject of the negotiations for many years. Ngayon na perfect yan, we were given ours. So, it is not part of the sovereign property, but of our share in the sovereign rights. Ito namang China came up with something. Sabi niya, no, there's no such a thing. This is our sea, our ocean, and everything is ours. Patay na. You have the right of innocent passage. Still, meron tayo niyan. But that was a principle which we adhered to. Ngayon, the claiming of the entire ocean, wala na. You have to seek, make overflights or when you're passing by. That is what China wants. Ngayon, ginamit ko rin yung in-check na formula dito sa atin. And mind you, if you are a Chinese, do not be offended because my grandfather, lolo ko, is Chinese. Nanay ko, Maranao, on my mother's side. So, ganon ang ano. Sabi ko rin dito sa atin, no, Philippine rice is ours. I did not make any distinction between sovereign rights or is sovereign property. Sinabi ko lang, basta amin yan. Ngayon dito agawan ng teritoryo eh. Pag mahina ka, iiwanan ka talaga. So right away, I claim the entire, whatever, the landmass plus the continental shelf underneath the sea. At kung yan, yung continental shelf natin umabot ng San Francisco, then we would start to claim the entire island, the entire place of California. Mamalay mo kung hanggang doon talaga. Sabi ko, atin yan. No, hindi na ako naniwala nung sabi nila, oh, it's only sovereign right. Talukuhan yan. You claim the whole Pacific Ocean, tabi sa iyo. Sila, iniwanan mo lang kami ng, when we have to seek permission. Yung right of innocent passage is put in issue now. When is it? When do you have the right? The right, unbridled right to just pass by, or is it a right which you have to subject to the consent of the other? There's a gray area there eh. Medyo mahirap na yung ganon. So, unahan na natin, sabi ko. I mean, General Esperon said, we'll send the Marines. Good. Punta yung Marines natin and far at will, pagka may mag-dive dyan, siguruhin mo lang Pilipino yan. But for the Filipino scientists, unrestrained, you can use as a matter of fact, the Navy is at your disposal if you think that there's an important undertaking to do. So be it, you can use the resources of the Republic of the Philippines. Wala ma'am, it's for the country. Mabait ang Navy natin, pati Coast Guard, ma'am. So, ganun that is my thought about. Yung right of innocent passage has been lost in time. Di mo na malaman ngayon kung China has started it. Ako, gaya-gaya lang rin sa China. Di gawin ko rin. I no longer talk about sovereign or sovereign rights. And I do not make any distinction. Basta mabot yan ng economic zone namin. Amin yan. Para wala nang, sabi ko, you have to deal with my soldiers. Para magkakaintindihan tayo. So I feel very strongly about this because, as they said, it's about 7 trillion, 4 trillion. Yeah, we have to think of the future generation. There will be commercial fishing here, but it will be done strictly in accordance with accepted principles of the preservation of marine life. Baka ang mga anak natin wala na. And just around the corner, few years from now, they'll take over. And we must guarantee to them that meron pa silang makain, meron pa silang isda na masarap. So we will strictly adhere to safety and the accepted principles of commercial fishing. Yun ang kaya ako nandito talaga. Hindi ako atras dito. I will not. Basta ako, whether it concerns the economic zone or the territorial accepted 12 miles, noon nga 3 miles lang because that is the farthest that a cannonball could reach. That was before. But the world is changing and no, it has come to dog eats dog and pabilisan lang kung sino ang mahirap. Nandyan na eh. In a matter of few months, China was able to build a garrison. And hindi talaga natin kaya. So, sabi niya, magkaibigan na lang tayo. In the meantime, total, dadating rin ang panahon. There is always a time for everything. The changing, alam mo, ang geopolitics dito ganito. I'm addressing myself to the Moro and to the Christians without any distinction. Itong ISIS is losing ground, land, mass. They are scampering everywhere and anywhere. Ang pinaka-mabango sa kanila, to my mind, is the Southeast Asian countries. I said, no offended guys should be, sinabi ko sa inyo para sa lahat to. Ang ISIS, naghanap yan ng teritoryo, Southeast Asia. Ngayon sa Southeast Asia, sino dito ang pwede nilang tirahan? Because the avowed claim of the ISIS is they were so bankrupt and so corrupt. It's an ideology of destruction and killing. Wala talagang ginawa yung pumatay, mag-rape, bata, lahat. At kung itong mga ulol na to, if you give them a sanctuary somewhere here sa Southeast Asia, delikado. Why? Because sabi nila, kaya ako nagipagdiwa sa kapwa ko Maranao eh. Kung may kalokohan yung putang, you kill and destroy, hanggang dyan lang kayo. Dahil gusto nyo pumunta ng Pilipinas, if they want to establish a base here in the Philippines, where would be the ideal venue? Ano kung saan? Because they want to kill all infidels. In Southeast Asia, where are the infidels? Dito banda sa atin. It's in Australia, it's too far away, but nearest is the Philippines. What island? Mindanao. Nandyan yung mga infidels. Nandyan yung non-Muslims. Ngayon, it could not be Indonesia. Puro Muslim sila eh. But they are bombing churches there every day. Until today. They started their radicalism movement there. It's galloping. It could not be Malaysia in a total scale of war. Kasi Muslim. It could not be Brunei. So where are the infidels? In Mindanao. Nandyan yung infidels. Tapos, nandyan yung tubig nila because they're the communities of Moro people. So dito yan sila sa Mindanao. Ngayon, pag umabot yan, at wala itong BBL bumagsak, it cannot pass Congress for one reason or another, yung plebiscite, there will be trouble. I hope it could be a minimal, but if puputok ito, itong Moro na Maranaw, pati Moro na Tausog, they cannot get together. Believe me, I'm from Maranao stock. Hindi talaga nakakaintindihan, magpapatayan yan. Pero in the name of religion, and in a war, my enemy is your friend. Pagpapasok nila ang IS, there's going to be a bloodbath there. Ngayon, hinayaan ko ang Amerika. For really, ako, I know that most of my soldiers and policemen pumupunta ng American. Most of you take graduate studies there or special training. Alam ko ang ano ninyo, band. I know the band. Kaya hindi ako nakikipag-usap dyan sa Amerikano. Ako kasi galit. Because of the hypocrisy itong Amerikano na, tsaka yung bullying nila. Sabi ko sa Ejo, kayo mga military, and I've told everybody dito, sabi ko, you continue to dialogue with the Americans. I don't want to talk to them. But dito lang ako sa China. So may two options ako. In China, in front of the Philippine delegation, China will never allow the Philippines to be destroyed. We will be there if you need us. Naisip-isip ko, wala naman tayong magawa dito sa China. Might as well make friends with them. And the nearest that could makatulong sa atin kung mag-upakan talaga to patayan will be China. And China said, we will be there. Hindi ako sigurado sa Amerikano because ang Amerikano has lost its will to fight. Ang kanila yung puro weaponry na lang, cruise missile, maybe they also have the supersonic thing. But yung boots on the ground, yung pupunta doon tapos makipag-away tao por tao. Takot ang Amerika. I'm sad to say, pero ang Amerika cannot stand hardship. Magpunta yan ng gira sa Afghanistan, matapos ng bakbakan, uwi doon sa green zone, gusto ng kwarto na aircon, yung kama na maganda. Hindi gano'ng sundalo. Kumpara sundalo ng Pilipino, magtapon ka ng marine dyan sa dagat. Itapon mo. 3 days, mag-survive yan. Amerikano, itapon mo. 1 hour after, lulutang na yan. Totoo. ang Amerika takot pumatay, takot mamatay. Yan talaga ang totoo sa Amerika. They are deathly afraid of death and they do not want to kill. Ang nalaman lang itong mga buang na ito is for human rights. Kaya they are deteriorating. They go is to send specialists, but it is far from the madding crowd. Yung frontline nandito, teach you how to operate a kung ano-ano, but hindi mo maasahan ng Amerika. So, nagkaganon-ganon ako. I'm playing geopolitics with everybody. Pagka wala, di sabihin ko China, pwede ko siguro magdala ng ubos na ang sundalo ko. Maybe you can replace it with about 3 battalions, puro armored to lahat. Or might as well start with them in the front. But the assurances of Xi Jinping was very encouraging. We will not. Nandyan mo yan sila. We will not allow you to be taken out from your office, and we will not allow the Philippines to go to the dogs. Siguro kasi freely elected leader naman ako. It could be a very justified statement. Now, itong sumulat nito, kawawa naman. Basahin na lang rin natin. Baka nandito yung butasan yung barko natin. Last year, I issued Executive Order number 25, which renamed the erstwhile Benham Rise to the Philippine Rise. Today, I'm issuing a presidential proclamation formally declaring parts of this undersea feature as a marine resource reserve. Tinawag ko yung China, bakit kayo naglagay ng marking-marking? Sabi niya, nagpermiso man kami. Tapos yung marker nila, wala man kaming nalamang ibang dialect, Chinese. Alang-alang ilagay namin doon German. Hindi, sa aming lingwahe, tinanong ko sila nung the last time as in Buao, was it Buao? Around 50,000 hectares of the Philippine rice shall become a strict protection zone limited to scientific studies. At this time, only Filipinos. I do not want only Filipinos. Tayo yung pinaka-bright Di tayo lang, yung mga bugok, iwan mo. Well, totoo man, more than 300 hectares shall be designated as a special fisheries management area. Sus ko nandito si Toto Pinyol Ara, dire? Bote na lang, hangin nga hinay. Today we send off our team of talented and competent Filipino scientists who will undertake the coordinated national marine scientific research initiatives and related activities of CUMIRA in the waters above the Philippine Rise. I join the Filipino people in wishing you all the best as you embark on your mission to conduct mapping surveys, biological investigations, and assessment of the coral reef and fisheries stock in the area until November. These activities will be vital to the protection and management of the Philippine rice and its vast resources. I have complete faith in the capabilities of our world-class scientists, and I recognize the need to provide them with the necessary means to fulfill your mandate. Siguro tag-isang barko kayo, ma'am, okay na. Oh. Tag-isang barko talaga. Indeed, these developments would not have been possible without the efforts of our dedicated public servants, scientists, and legal experts who work together to bolster our claim over the Philippine rice. When the United Nations Commission on the Limits of the Continental Shelf approved our claim to the Philippine rice a few years ago, we were not just granted access to the vast resources, we were also entrusted with the responsibility to protect it from abuse and misuse. Let us therefore explore this formula frontier fully aware of responsibility over property management and conserve its natural resources for the benefit of the present and future generations of Filipinos. A send off our experts to explore and discover what our seas have to offer. May we all have a renewed sense of commitment to promote the welfare of our people, safeguard our national interests, assert our sovereign rights over our waters and all areas within our jurisdiction. Daghang salamat.